It's Nolan. End of the year coming, I'm posted like Tim Duncan. Teaching niggas how to grow they shit like it's Teen Summit. Teaching niggas how to talk to me, I don't hear nothing. You red pill rappers about to fall from the red button. This chair comfy, need real money. Let me find out you industry niggas is Ted Bundy. Let me find out, let me wind down. Take some time out to calculate the weight I clear monthly. USD to them pounds, feet deep in the ground. Stand firm like your whole shit for $200. I'm big worm, switch the game up to help y'all score. Dave Stern try to box me in Martin. I treat him like T. Hearns. Got a baby doing 5 weeks. Made it through my juvenile hell, was bumping my deep. Homies in them 2-man cells struggle to find sleep. We ain't talking Casa, we don't talk like barbershops. Circumvent the streams, we taking it back to mom and pop. Distribution, pick and choosing for the institution. Niggas losing, y'all can check the units. They say the internet level, the plan failed. I say they made you confident and racing with your training wheels. Fuck them rapping for if I can't pay a cable bill. Fuck them rapping for if I can't even say what's real. How you say you independent with a major deal? Niggas fell in love with the lies. I see how shady feel. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hey, y'all have absolutely no idea what today has been like for me, man. I posted a snippet from my video yesterday breaking down that whole discovery mode thing from Drake's pre-trial motion, I guess they're calling it, where he said that Universal gave Spotify a reduced royalty rate of 30% to promote Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us more prevalently on the platform. I spoke about how discovery mode on Spotify actually charges artists, labels, etc. an additional 30%, which means Spotify keeps 30%. It's the same amount. And it allows your music to go on playlists in front of people, allow your music to be more prevalently placed within the app. Some people seem to be angry that I spoke about this. And on Twitter right now, folks are lighting me up. Well, it's a couple OV hoes that are lighting me up. But outside of that, it's been all gravy. Now, as there are more updates to come, we don't know what's going to happen. But we've now got some entertainment lawyers, music professionals, etc., that have stepped in and they're now weighing in on, I should say, Drake's pre-trial motions, because he's filed 2. And I want to go ahead and go over some of the things that they say in response to what it is that Drake is alleging, what it says in his paperwork, and how people that actually work within this business are perceiving it, because for whatever reason, people don't really know. I ain't gonna say for whatever reason. People don't really know the history that I come from, my music business experience, me doing music business content before moving over to current topics and current events. So they want to discredit me. So I say, hey, all right, cool. The nigga that's signed on deals and got music all over the place, probably got something being played right now as we speak on TV. I don't know anything. That's fine. So let's hear it from people that work with these artists and work with, a higher level of entertainers than myself, and see what it is that they have to say. Will we have difference of opinion? Will our sentiments be the same, or will we meet somewhere in the middle? Let's just check it out. All right, give me a second. I'll share my screen. This is a Rolling Stone article where it is now being scrutinized by industry professionals. Okay, give me a moment. All right, here we go. Now, please excuse this dumbass offer on the bottom of my screen. They trying to upsell me on some bullshit. We not buying that. But we should be good to scroll through. So here we go. Rolling Stone, experts weigh in on Drake's legal filings against UMG. They say this gets nowhere near trial. This is the headline. This gets nowhere near trial. According to one entertainment lawyer, there's not much meat on the bone with Drake's recent filings against UMG. Okay? This article was produced yesterday. They say Drake's taken the Kendrick beef from court of public opinion to actual court. This week, Drake's attorneys made a pair of legal filings that state their intent to find out if Universal Music Group, the parent company of his label Republic Records, sought to artificially boost the acclaim of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us diss by paying Spotify and iHeartRadio. The filings also allege on information and belief that bots and other forms of payola were used to inflate streams, that Universal was complicit in defamation by supporting a song that accused him of being a certified pedo. The crux of both filings is apparent in a portion of the second document, which states the record-shattering spread of Not Like Us on streaming, sales, and radio play was deliberate and appears to have relied upon irregular and inappropriate business practices. Universal came out swiftly after the first lawsuit, telling TMZ the suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns. No amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose the music they want to hear. Right? So that's UMG's direct response to Drake from day one. And of course, day two, we got more information from Drake about his dissatisfaction with the way that this year has played out for him. In the past 24 hours, many have wondered what Drake seeks to achieve with the petitions. Some have speculated that he's seeking to leverage Universal for information, allowing him to potentially sue for a breach of contract and get out of his deal. We spoke about that as well. Does he want to retire? Does he want to go out and become an independent artist? Does he want to go test the field and try to get another record deal out of another company, which I would suspect ain't going to be no better because UMG owns much of the industry any goddamn way, right? Others surmise he's simply trying to put an asterisk on Not Like Us success to push back on the popular sentiment that he lost the great rap war. And I'll go and do you one better. There's some people out there, and I think this is actually a more compelling story, that Drake is trying his damnedest to put pressure on this song, Not Like Us, so that it cannot be performed in February 2025 at the Super Bowl. He wants to wrap this song up in litigation. He wants to put pressure on Universal about this song specifically because of the allegations in the song, which is why he's trying to put defamation and attach to it. Although the defamation is not being aimed at Kendrick Lamar, it's being aimed at Universal and their support of the record. He is trying to wrap this song up to make Universal and the NFL and of course their sponsors uncomfortable about this song being played at the Super Bowl. That has nothing to do with the rest of Kendrick's performance. I still think he performs it or does a piece of it at the Super Bowl, but of course we still got a couple more months before we see what really happens. Let's continue. Rolling Stone spoke with co-founder of streaming service HBO Max, Brian Z. Zizuk, which is one of the homies. I've told y'all multiple times, this is a very educated man. Artists that need help in the music industry go to him on labels and off. When people need help trying to get out of deals, he even helps them do that. This is somebody that I've worked with, had a extensive, I wouldn't say relationship because we ain't homies like that, but we've had a lot of talks concerning my music. And just earlier at the top of this year, me and some of my counterparts, we did a whole conference educating artists about the music business, and we had Brian Z. Zizuk as one of our guests. So just letting y'all know, because I've seen some people discredit when I've mentioned him in the past because they didn't like what he had to say or whatever side of the fence they believed he was on. But he ain't no uneducated slouch, and he's not biased. Furthermore, entertainment lawyer Kevin Cassini, who I've also heard of, and another entertainment lawyer who requested to remain anonymous for their insights on the filings. All three people are equally unsure what Drake's endgame is and feel like it's a tenuous suit, specifically the claim of defamation amid a rap battle. Cassini clarified that no lawsuit has been filed against UMG. The first filing in New York was a petition for access to information that would help them direct and tailor a lawsuit and put the parties on notice to preserve documents. Cassini adds that the petition doesn't mean that all the parties named will end up as defendants, and it doesn't mean that there won't be other parties or different counts if it's granted and the information obtained dictates. The second document filed in Texas was a request to depose people out of state, specifically someone from the Lone Star State-based iHeartRadio. While the anonymous lawyer called the filings a part of Drake's justice play, quote unquote, against the industry, Cassini called it more whining than anything else. This is what people that work in the industry feel, people that actually work on behalf of entertainers and artists. The anonymous lawyer says these filings could be part of a long play to get out of his UMG contract, but Z and Cassini are more skeptical, with the latter noting, "I really don't understand how that would create leverage to cancel the recording contract that he was with Universal." I kind of see it that way as well, because I don't see how this creates a more sanctimonious exit for him. The best way that he could have possibly gotten out of this deal was to continue putting numbers on the board, continue to serve his time. I think what Drake's play is that he feels that he's recouped. He feels that he's made the money back that they invested into him, and he wants to try to part ways. Perhaps those renegotiations weren't happening. Either he wants to part ways, or he wanted more money, or he wanted equity in the company. It seems that UMG, as they look at a wounded warrior, they say, bruh, we've done great business up to this point. We would love to continue to do business with you, but we're not giving you more money. We're not giving you equity in our company. We've already given you your masters back, right? We may even match the deal that we gave you, or shit, you ain't even worth what you was when we did that deal with you. We'll give you something a little bit lower. We gave you anywhere between $400 to $500 last time. Maybe we'll do $200 this time. How about that? Sound good? He like, hell no, I'm trying to go up. They're like, shit, but your value in the marketplace is only going down. So he's feeling some type of way. And as noted in his filing, he talked about how Not Like Us is being used to promote Kendrick Lamar and devalue himself. So there is some credence to the fact that Drake feels that they're driving his value down on purpose so that they can lowball him, right? None of this means anything to us. When faced with the popular sentiment that Drake may be set to argue that Universal breached his contract by artificially promoting Not Like Us, Cassini notes that would essentially be saying that Universal would be obligated not to market Kendrick's song because Drake finds the content of the song undermining. We talked exactly about that, and we are sharing the exact same sentiment. I'll continue. They say, and if the shoe was on the other foot, I don't think Drake would stand for that. Right? And he adds, even in standardized recording agreements, there is going to be an opportunity to cure any breach of the terms. So I don't know exactly what Drake thinks he will be able to leverage if that's the move. I am not sure that that is the move. Z tells Rolling Stone that for Drake, there's no endgame that offsets the self-sabotage of these filings. He says no amount of money in the world is worth the reputational harm that Drake is causing to himself by filing these suits. Absolutely. Fuck what Universal think about you. The people that are out here consuming music look at you like a complete and utter clown. They already did, but now that you filed this paperwork and included Not Like Us, it don't matter that you're not suing Kendrick. The fact that you put his name in here is all it takes. It's over, buddy. You might as well, since you're on your way to Australia, go hang out with Andrew Tate. You know what I'm saying? Go start a podcast with him. You know what I mean? Do the soundtrack to the podcast, release it as an album. The people that love you, that rock with you, the people that are still windmilling, that people like myself that are, I'm only speaking my professional opinion based on my knowledge of the terms, my knowledge of the industry. People want to come at me. You ain't got to come at me. Go follow your leader. Go follow your GOAT. Go follow whatever you want to call him. Right? Buy tickets to his shows. Buy his albums. Keep him in business. Because the rest of the fans out here, I don't see them doing that. Y'all going to have to step it up. Drake is going to be, for lack of a better comparison, I think he's still going to be a successful artist. I think he's still going to do decent numbers. I think all of his numbers will take a rollback and scale on some Walmart shit. But I don't doubt that he could have a similar trajectory as somebody like a Trigger Warning, Chris Brown, right? Chris Brown can put music out, go number one. There's a lot of people that hate him. There's a lot of people that will never get over the things that happened between himself and Rihanna and the things he did. But nonetheless, even though he may get canceled from award shows, he may not get to do a lot of TV opportunities, he still has a fan base that keeps him afloat. They send his music to the charts and they show up. I think Drake has the ability to still be an artist of that magnitude. I just don't see him having the same amount of opportunities and mainstream appeal that he had in yesteryear. Let's keep it going. Okay, again, he says he doesn't think any of the money that he thinks he's owed is worth the reputational harm. If Drake had learned Kendrick was about to release a record making these claims and he filed a suit to block the song's release, that would make more sense. But the song is out, it's been out, the whole world has heard the record. Filing these suits serves as a reminder to the world this is a classic case of the Streisand effect. And this is something that I've seen others put in the comments. Cassini also evoked the Streisand effect by essentially noting that this litigation really only serves to bring more attention to the lyrics that Drake finds offensive or objectionable. He says, and I think the streaming numbers for the song will just go up again, which they are. The song has now re-entered the top 20 on iTunes, Apple Music. It had fell off the chart, top 20. It's going right back up. I wouldn't be surprised in the coming weeks if Not Like Us goes right back to the top 10, top 5. You know what I'm saying? Where you're going to have fucking Squabble Up. You're going to have TV Off. And then you're going to have Not Like Us creeping back on up. Kendrick Lamar like, shit, but I keep complaining. Keep doing all the kicking and screaming you want on your way out, baby. It only makes us go up even further. Craziness. Kendrick recently released his GNX album, which is poised to have another big streaming debut. The hysteria for the Compton rapper is already at a fever pitch, which may spur a second win for Not Like Us. It's already happening. Cassini says that he thinks the filings look like a precursor to a slap suit or a strategic lawsuit against public participation. This is interesting. In an artistic context, he gives the example of a person filing a suit against a company for an unflattering documentary that they don't want to be aired. In this specific instance, Drake will be fighting UMG's participation in airing a diss song that accuses Drake of being a certified pedo. In the second document, Drake's representation states before it approved the release of the song, UMG knew that the song itself, as well as its accompanying album art and music video, attacked Drake's character by falsely accusing him of being an SO, engaging in pedophilic acts, harboring ex-offenders, and committing other criminal sexual acts, concluding that UMG could have refused to release or distribute the song or required the offending material to be edited or removed. Again, we've seen this stuff, but this lawyer says that he might try to take the route of people that, you know, have those documentaries, unofficial documentaries based on them that they don't necessarily approve, try to put a lawsuit out on it, try to get it stopped. That he might go that way. I just don't see how it works to his benefit because the song, although it says his name in a line, you honestly can't prove that every line, although we know it's aimed at Drake, if you really want to take it to like a court level, a trial level, he's going to have to prove that every line in that song is about him and maybe not toward someone else that he knows in his crew, right? Because when he says Baca, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. He could say, I was really talking about the other guy. Or be like, you know, I just used his name creatively. It's so many ways out. Cassini says that in 34 states, including New York and Texas, where Drake filed, an anti-slap statute can be filed as a counter to the initial suit. Cassini says some slap suits masquerade as if they're looking for honest redress for grievances, but really they serve only to prevent expression and speech. I don't doubt that Drake might try to go that route. The way he's behaving himself at this current moment, it doesn't seem like he's thinking in his right mind. He's definitely got, I'm going to stop the kids at the park from having fun type mindset right now. And I think it's only going to further deflate his celebrity. We'll keep going. The first filing notes that Drake believes Universal paid bots and engaged in payola to inflate Not Like Us success on streaming platforms. All three agreed that payola and bots are rampant in the industry, but it will be difficult to prove. Cassini says he feels like it would be difficult for anyone at iHeartRadio to be ordered to be deposed without a lawsuit first being filed. Z notes, they would need to provide a paper trail showing money or gifts changed hands specifically for Not Like Us. Exactly. You can't come with just accusations on some Rick Ross shit. Okay? Accusations. You're going to have to show people this is why I believe this to be so. I saw when this money was exchanged, or we have emails from whistleblowers or something to substantiate such claim. The anonymous entertainment lawyer adds, a smart person would obviously not create a paper trail in a way that's traceable. I think there's other ways that you could piece it together. There might not be a smoking gun, but ultimately their opinion is this gets nowhere near trial. All three agree that if UMG was compelled to provide documentation of artificial streaming, their reveal could blow back on Drake. It's likely that a lot of artists, Drake included, have benefited from streaming bots without their knowledge, Z says. I think a lot of artists have had label and distribution partners who have opted into above-board programs like Discovery Mode. Didn't we just talk about Discovery Mode? Come on, don't be telling me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. I had not seen this article before I made that video. We'll keep going. And have artificially manipulated streams, and the artist has no idea. And they don't ask questions because it looks good. And be clear, above board programs like Discovery Mode, meaning it's universally accepted. It rolled out last year. It became a bit more accessible to the public this year. That's why I even know about it, because I received an invitation to try it out. Right? Cassini notes that he doesn't believe that Drake is interested in reforming the industry to the extent that the industry is broken. He says, I'm sure that he was on the beneficial end of support from the label, that somebody else might consider payola at some point. Exactly why I said maybe I should go the fucking Drake route. Every time that nigga made a hit, niggas became less interested in what a J Nolan had to say. Let me lawyer up. So you have to be careful when you start casting stones. The anonymous lawyer notes that payola disrupts the streaming royalty payout system in a way that is harmful and deceptive to, in particular, independent artists. But ultimately feels like these aren't the parties that should be having this argument. Come the fuck on, baby. He said this shit is more harmful to the indies, to the little guys, the J Nolans of the world. And this isn't the forum for these people to be doing it. This is a rap battle gone wrong. While all three believe that evidence of payola is possible, they believe that Drake's surmising defamation will be much more difficult to litigate. Defamation is really, really hard to prove, especially when you engage in a similar battle yourself. I think that if this wasn't in the context of a rap battle and Drake wasn't dissing himself, he'd have a lot better claim. So they're saying the fact that you went back and forth with this man and put your own defaming words to a track, why would a judge side with you? Let's take it a step further, because you introduced the defamatory claims. It could have just been on some, you suck, I'm better than you, I'm hotter than you, I'm with the culture feeling. What is it? The braids? Like, everything was cool. It was fun. It was funny. It was compelling. But you decided to go at people and family. Talk about this man's woman. Try to speculate that she's sleeping around and having illegitimate children with his friend. Try to say that he is physically putting hands on his woman. But you mad because you threw a stone and that bitch hit a goddamn mysterious boomerang effect and clocked your ass. Nah, dawg, we ain't doing that. Cassini says, I don't really understand how Drake thinks that it's injurious to him that the song released by Kendrick, other than the fact that it's harmful to his reputation, Citing Drake still having more monthly Spotify listeners than Kendrick. Z adds, I don't think you can make an argument that their beef hurt the consumption of Drake's back catalog whatsoever. So that was an interesting way that they framed this. If anything, artists who aren't Kendrick Lamar and Drake lost because so much of the conversation was geared toward the two of them and not spent in other ways. That is a motherfucking fact. I even said it myself. Based on the way that they went at it this year, they have dominated the conversation even when they stopped releasing music at a certain point. Other artists was trying to put shit out, and I was like, man, it's just not captivating me the same way. It's hard for me to even judge some of this other shit out here. From here, Cassini notes, everybody gets a chance to respond. Universal already responded to the initial petition, but may have more to say about the second filing. And in Texas, Cassini says, I'm not sure exactly who would respond unless it's iHeartMedia, saying there's no reason for us to be made to sit for a deposition, so we're not going to do that. While he believes the New York filing has the most teeth, he ultimately feels like the case for a lawsuit doesn't have much meat on the bone, as quoted in the headline. He may have lost the plot here a bit, but time will tell. I'm not sure how far this goes. Sometimes these things flare up and then they just kind of go away, Z says. I think it is in everyone's best interest that this does not move forward. And the fact that it happened at all undeniably is going to damage Drake's reputation even more than he has experienced over the last 12 months. I mean, just in the last 48 hours, this nigga been getting flamed non-stop. You understand what I'm saying, man? We done did a goddamn tailgate party just flaming his ass up. And not even, well, for some people it may be deliberate, but for me it ain't. It's just anybody who would have did some shit like this, given the circumstance, was going to catch it. The anonymous lawyer says they feel the disagreement gets nowhere near trial because of the difficulty of proving defamation. The streaming bots and the pay-for-play thing, I'm assuming he feels strongly that there's some documentation that can prove this. Ultimately, it doesn't change anything about this battle, though. I don't think the average consumer is going to say, oh, Kendrick paid for bots, therefore Drake actually won. And for whatever reason, Drake fans think somebody's going to come to that conclusion. You will be sorely mistaken. The music is what determined it. It wasn't about the numbers. Drake is the king of the numbers. He's the one consumed with being number one. He's the one that wants to compete with Hove. He wants to compete with Michael Jackson. He wants to compete with the Beatles. So the fact that he took an L on this large of a platform and people just ain't feeling him, despite him still having numbers in his favor, he can't take it. And he's like, man, this nigga finna perform this fucking song at the Super Bowl? Hell no, what can I do? I don't want to sue him directly because that makes me look even worse. But what you didn't calculate was just naming him in the lawsuit was enough to be looked upon as a fed. And they already thought that you was something like that before. This has been fucked up for you, bruh. But this is what you deserve. This is what you asked for. This is the battle. This is the fight that you wanted. It's funny when you ask somebody to drop and then they drop the world on your motherfucking head. All pun intended to your mentor, Lil Wayne. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. This is your first time seeing me on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. If you want to get more of our conversations, more of our music-based conversations, reaction-based conversations, be sure to join the Patreon. Patreon.com/real J Nolan. It's going to be in the pinned comments for you. You can join and come fuck with your boy over there too, okay? Much love and respect. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.